Hey!
Can you hear it, Lev?
We're flying up, ready to go. Line up.
Hey, hey, hey! Hey, can you hear the music?
I can. I don't know what it is, but you know that I don't know music too
You don't
well.
know music.
Eight.
I heard the
Is this
news,
80?
baby! All about Lev disease.
What is this, like Huey Lewis in the news?
That. That's something you need. Oh yeah, I ain't talking about love. That's how you
Is that
start a
Van Halen?
show. You hear
Is that
me?
Van Halen?
That's
Is
Van
that Van
Halen.
Halen?
Great call,
I
Levy.
know it was Van Halen.
Yeah.
You know
Uh,
why? It sounded like, and that was David Lee Roth, wasn't it?
that
That was
was.
a little David. That
That
wasn't
was.
Sammy. That was David.
That was DLR. So the original lead for VH. I don't think there's been a group, and I'd have to think about this. I don't know that there's been a group who has more successfully transitioned from one lead singer to another and still remain like just cranking out like great music, like great music.
Remember, we saw Van Halen at Camden. I think it was the summer of '94. I think it might have been the second concert I ever went to, or the third concert. Steve Rosen mentioned something. I was also at, I think, the Cypress Hill concert up at Penn
Yeah.
for, was it or Spring Fling or something? And then I think I saw Bobby Brown with you. But then Van Halen, I think we saw it with Ennis,
Ennis and
and I
Steve.
don't know who was with us. And Ennis and Steve.
Steve was with
Okay.
us too.
And Sammy was doing a good job kicking out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sammy's a
at both
great front
events.
man.
He
Dave was a
had,
great
and
front
if you
man.
remember,
Go ahead.
yeah. And
Talk over me, Lev. Go ahead.
unfortunately, Van Halen is no more because Eddie passed.
Eddie
Yeah, Eddie
passed,
passed, and
and
they didn't want to go on without him.
right, and Alex is well. Van Halen ended well before Eddie's passing, unfortunately. But there's no hope of a reunion unless Wolfie joins the group, Wolfgang, Eddie's son,
Reunion.
Eddie and Valerie Bertinelli
Wolfie, yeah, yeah.
from.
And Valerie Bertinelli's, yeah. Delaware,
That's right. That's right.
Wilmington,
Are we on a
Wilmington,
delay? Because
Claymont.
I'm saying things and then you're
I think
reacting like a minute
was
later.
she? No, no, I'm not on delay. Maybe I'm just a little staggered from a long day. I just got back from the gym. Just want you all to know that I'm increasing my muscle tone. As I'm aging into my 50s, I'm doing it nice and gracefully.
That's a way to do it. I too am you know what I started taking is creatine. Do you know creatine?
Creatine. Now that wouldn't be an illegal substance.
No, they
That
sell it in
wouldn't be
grocery
an
stores.
illegal
They
substance, would
sell it
it?
in
Are
grocery
you
stores, homeboy.
are you steroid? Are you roiding up? Are you roiding up
No.
like Arnold? Arnold?
Yeah, how many I just said 3 times. They sell it in grocery stores. I got it at Sprout. Creatine is great for
Oh,
you.
okay.
Yeah, it's good for you. Good for you. So I started taking that
Is is it for your brain?
for both.
It's not for your
For
brain, right?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's to help with mental clarity, and then it's also just to give you a little energy boost. So, Lev, I want you when you're going to start taking the creatine in the gym, and then you ask the trainers to rub the clear and the cream on
Yeah.
you. Yeah, like Barry Bonds did.
Oh God, this is a fun start. We haven't done this in a while, and our partners are sort of I do want to send a shout out to Rich. Rich had vertigo yesterday. He had a
What?
case of vertigo yesterday. Yeah, he had a case of vertigo yesterday. But he told me today he's doing better. So I was concerned. Uh, we were going to go to the Phillies game last night, and he's like, I can't get out of bed. I've had vertigo, and he had never
Holy
had it until yesterday. But he did go to the doctors today, and he said he's doing better. And Barry is probably at karate, I think.
right. Barry's at the dojo. Clearly, he has abandoned us for his
Oh, come
children.
on.
For his children.
Well,
I don't blame
right,
him. I
right,
would
right.
abandon us for my children too.
We might need to have him doing his part at the grill though, because I'd love to see him with the computer near the grill grilling up some wings because it's playoff season, baby.
It
It
is,
is
Lev. I'm
playoff
glad. How
season.
about this? I don't think we've talked Flyers for more than, if you aggregate everything over the course of this year,
Five
probably, I
years.
don't think we've talked Flyers for more than 5 minutes this year.
Over
Um,
5 years. 5 years,
but
maybe.
I think across 6 years, it's probably like 7 minutes. I think we've probably given it 7 minutes over. But today, damn it, I'm coming in. Coming in hot and heavy for you, baby. I am all fired up. I am so fired up. I have been. I know you know this because I've been watching the Flyers for most of the season. And it is because I'll tell you this: the ESPN. I'm just going to promote something real quick. The ESPN package for hockey is tremendous, tremendous. And so,
I know you watch it, and Mike Curry in Kentucky, he tells me he watches every game.
yeah.
So
So
I'm
this,
glad to see you guys are still out there watching your Flyers.
yeah. And I'm going to tell you something. I am really excited about this team. This team was dead in the water. They started out, they were looking great, and then they went into a funk.
Yeah.
And then it seemed like when the Olympic break hit, they came back and played with a vengeance. And no one was thinking that everyone was like, oh, outside chance they're going to make the playoffs. But playoff hockey is back in Philly for the first time in 6 years. And we are going to have a home game, which is even more exciting because the last time the Flyers were in the playoffs, it was under that Elaine Vigneault. Do you remember him?
I know the French name. But so
Elaine
this is a
Vigneault.
best of seven, right?
Best of five is
Is,
the first round, I believe. I could be
I mean,
wrong.
I really wish the NBA would do best of five too.
Yeah.
Um, so I think the NHL's got it right, and I love the fact that you could be a Flyers team and come in from nowhere, and it's often how many times in the NHL where as an eighth seed actually done something, where in the NBA if you're an eighth seed or you're dead. So the
Yep.
NHL has got an excitement to it where us non-Canadian, non-hockey files like myself, not you, get into hockey a little bit.
Well, playoff hockey is it's a whole nother level. I mean, I actually watch it. I've watched it. I really like the Edmonton team. There's actually a lot of Jews on that team, believe it or not, Lev. So, um,
Okay, more
but
than one.
yeah, there are. And then the Hughes brothers are the Jews brothers.
The-
So, that's another one.
oh,
But
they both play for Edmonton.
no, the Hughes
No, the
brothers
Hughes
play for
brothers.
New Jersey. Yeah, Quinn and Jack
Oh,
Hughes. But
okay.
then there's a
Okay.
third one too who plays for, totally forgetting who he plays for. But anyway, um, I'm really excited about the Flyers. This is a really fun team. It's a young team. And watching this team, what I find to be interesting is, I've sent out a text, like it was probably like a few weeks ago, and I said, this team, I feel like this team is young and fast, and they can skate their asses off. But they don't have a thumper. They don't have someone who is going to protect them when someone takes a run at their players. And I feel like they were getting like bullied around a little bit. Um, the Flyers, they drafted Martone in the
Right.
first round this year, and he went to Michigan State, and they lost in the finals or semifinals of the NCAA playoffs, and he's a freshman, and he is he's been a great addition. In I think he's got 10 points in 9 games since he joined the team.
So he just joined the team back because that would have been in March, right, or early April. No,
Yes, yeah, he joined.
yeah,
He joined in early April.
wow, I mean, that's outrageous.
Yeah, can you like Porter Martone? He's 19 years old. Like it's
Yeah,
insane that he's having this kind of impact, and he has been phenomenal. And then Tyson Forster was injured for much of the year. He hurt his arm, and he's another one of these young players, super speedies. I mean, their core, Lev, is really exciting. It reminds me of like the Eagles' young core. I mean, you have Owen Tippett, who we got in the Claude Giroux trade. You got Tyson Forrester. You got Matvey Michkov. I know you're a big Matvey
right.
Michkov.
Well, I know that name. I know
Yeah,
that name,
the
and because
Magic
it just
Man.
sticks it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is his what second year in the league now?
This
Michkov.
is his. He's just completed his second year, but it was kind
Yeah.
of a down year for him.
All right. Well, I mean, so this is So when you're at this stage, the Flyers, I mean, you got hats off to Rick Tocchet. He seems like he's done a good job this year.
Yep.
Because I remember when he got the job over the summer, it wasn't like a really, really enthusiastic hire, but it seems like he steadied the ship and he has done a good job.
Yeah, and I think part of why it wasn't maybe the most enthusiastic hire is because everyone was thinking, not everyone, but a lot of people were thinking, this is what the Flyers do. They just recycle people and they bring in their organization people, like, and it's just, like there's never new blood and new thinking. But the way this team plays, their power play sucks. So don't get me wrong, their
Yeah.
power play blows. But the way that this team plays, their system they just seem to like free up and generate offense, and it's like it's I mean, this team is so fun to watch. Trevor Zegras has been a great addition from Anaheim, who we got in the offseason, and they moved him to center. And once they moved him to center, he was playing on the wing. But once they moved him to center, I think it opened things up for the other guys. You got, these young guys. You got Denver Barkey, who's contributing, and then Drysdale, who came over in the Cutter Gauthier trade. He's been
I love how
great.
you said that.
You like that?
Cutter,
Noah
Gauthier.
Cates. Noah Cates has been phenomenal. And then you have you have your veterans, Dvorak and Sealer and Ristolainen. They've been great. And then their goalie, Dan Vladar, has been insane. He's been incredible. Like the best goalie I've seen easily since Ron Hextall. I said it, since Ron Hextall.
Well, that's 30 years ago. So
Yeah, but the Flyers, it's always been a joke. They had Sergei Bobrovsky, and they
oh,
traded him away for a bag of donuts after they signed Brizgala, and that blew up in their face. And they just have not Roman
and
Czechmanik. Like, I
well,
mean,
the last guy didn't work out for non-hockey reasons. Let's just say, and he
Carter
might have
Hart.
turned
Yeah,
Carter Hart might have turned out to be a great goalie. It
right,
just
right.
I don't even know if he's playing NHL hockey these days.
Yeah, he
But
is. I want to say
oh,
he is with Las Vegas, I believe.
if
So,
I'm correct, the charges against him were dropped in that case.
yes.
So
So
yeah,
someone check me
so
on the Las Vegas piece, but it's pretty exciting, man. There's and just like hockey playoffs, and you kind of referenced this earlier. Hockey playoffs are
yeah,
so exciting because
much
they
more exciting than NBA playoffs. I mean,
100%
because
sign me up every day for
NBA
NHL and
playoffs are
NBA
very
playoffs.
predictable. The NHL, they will get a casual fan to watch them. And from what I understand, the games have been done really, really well on TV.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
I mean, it used to be that, didn't really get much coverage. Actually, if I remember with the NHL, it used to be that the home team did most of the television coverage throughout the playoffs till way towards the end of these series.
Yep. Yeah.
So it would have been like, yeah, yeah,
And so this is the other thing about ESPN's coverage is when you go on to the ESPN app. Gosh, this is like a commercial for ESPN. When you go on their ESPN app, you can watch either the Flyers broadcast or the national broadcast if there's a national broadcast, or like the Canadians broadcast if you wanted to watch that. Whoever they're playing. So that's pretty cool. I
now,
feel like
who will the Flyers be playing in the
the
playoffs?
Schittsburg Penguins, and so we
Oh, so
welcome
that's a rivalry right there. That's
right.
probably one of the greatest rivalries in hockey history, right? You have the
Yeah.
Keystone State rivalry going
Yep.
back to Lemieux and Lindros, and I mean, so
Sid the
that would
Kid.
probably mean Sid the Kid. And
Yeah.
Sid the Kid, this might be one of his last seasons. He's almost like year 40 now, Sid
Yeah,
Crosby.
I think he's 38. You got Malkin, you got
He's got to be up there too.
yeah. So
Malakin.
yeah, I mean, but this is, you're right. You hit the nail on the head. This is such a rivalry. Remember old Yarmir Yagar, former
Yager.
Flyer,
Yep.
former Penguin. So it's fun, man. We I don't know if you remember, but when the Flyers played the Penguins, I want to say it was that 2010 run that
I
they made.
remember being at your not your engagement party, the night before your wedding,
Rehearsal dinner
and
party. Yeah.
rehearsal dinner party, and the Flyers. I thought the Flyers were in the finals against the Blackhawks in that night,
They
but
were.
maybe I'm
They
wrong.
were.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there's during that playoff run, I'm pretty sure it's 2010. Drew clean, like he hit Sidney Crosby, and knocked him down, and then on the same, and it's known as the shift, and then he got the puck eventually, and Drew hit a sniped one past the keeper for Pittsburgh. So anyway, it's fun, man. It's fun to have hockey back. I am so excited. Playoffs are best of seven, by the way. So
You
it's
know what? It's all for TV. That's what it is. It's all for TV. And if you can get more games, then everyone loves it. So
yeah.
I'm glad we got more than 5 minutes of Flyers talk in
Yep.
for the first time in years.
Ever probably. I just want to say two other things real quick. So the game time hasn't been set yet, but I've heard the first game's probably gonna be Saturday because there's still a couple games left in the regular season. But don't worry, Flyers fans. Flyers are already in. They're in, and they will be playing Schittsburg. So that's happening on Saturday, and then the other thing is just keep in mind. I mean, the Flyers and Pittsburgh have the same amount of points, so the Flyers have been beneficial of the overtime rule. Um, oh, look, is that? Is that Claude Giroux just entered this picture?
No, that's my sister Lisa Levin, who will
Oh,
be celebrating her birthday on Saturday. So
oh,
we'll
should we sing
be
happy birthday?
sending a shout out. Well, we'll just send out happy birthday, Lisa. We hope that you have a wonderful day ahead of you. And also, I want to send out a couple other shouts while we're at it.
Go ahead.
A,
It's your
a
show.
shout out to Michelle LaMonica, who celebrated a birthday yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday, Shelly.
I think it might have been a special one too, but I don't know that for sure. So I don't want to, you know. So
I think
uh,
she's not. I think she's younger than that, but you know.
okay, so it was
Anyway.
either the 50 or 49. And then my mom has gotten better. My mom has been sick the last couple of weeks, and so she's been doing better.
That a
But
girl,
that's
Charlotte.
that's enough with my shout outs. I don't know if you have any shout outs.
I don't really have any friends,
Oh,
so
yes, you do.
I don't really
Yes,
have
you
any
do.
shout outs. But if you listen, then I say shout out, shout out. So that's Flyers hockey. It was fun. I'm fired up. I hope you will watch the game. I hope you watch the
I'll
playoffs.
watch
It'll
some
be a lot of
games.
fun.
I will watch some games.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm thinking about going out to watch some of the games.
Oh, look at
I,
that, man.
I am gonna watch the Sixers game tonight. Someone asked me. Um, I have no energy, no juice going into this game, no
Yeah.
real care. I don't know if you feel anything going into this game.
Mm.
Just totally unexciting. Um,
I mean, I found out. I'm not very bright, and those of you that know me know that to be a fact.
oh, come on,
But
you're
I
bright.
I just finally figured out how the play-in game stuff works. So the
You,
Sixers
yeah,
host the Magic, and if they beat the Magic, then
who are the eighth team?
they play the Celtics.
Play the Celtics,
Right. If they
right?
lose to the
Which
Magic,
isn't really good.
yeah, if they lose to the Magic, then they go and they will play the Charlotte Hornets, who beat the Miami Heat last night
In Philly, though. So
in Philly.
either
Right.
way, if Philly loses, right? So they get the home game. But I mean, if they lose to my Orlando, I sort of want them to lose because I don't really care. Um, I'd like to see them win tonight to be able to play Boston.
Right.
Um, yeah, I,
Let
I,
me ask you a
I,
question though. So because we made the play in, the Sixers made the play, and you're right. I mean, Joel Embiid, appendicitis out of nowhere. That sucks. There's nothing you can do about
well,
that.
what is this? But we've had appendicitis. We've had what was it? The facial fracture at the orbital bone. I remember that. He
Yeah,
had what else did he have?
he
He
had a
had his
couple. He
hand.
had a. I had a couple of facial issues. I think. I mean, it's the knee. It's been a lot of things. This is something he
Remember the
could not
mask?
control.
We missed the mask days.
Maybe he'll bring back the mask.
Yeah.
Um, but here's the thing: he's not going to be available for the Boston series at all.
Okay.
Right? I mean,
Well,
there's no way he can come back. He just had surgery 2 days ago.
I don't any. I don't think he'll be available.
Yeah.
So
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 how confident are you in VJ Edgecombe, Paul George, and Tyrese carrying the
well, I think
Sixers?
that could they win 2 games against the Celtics?
No, they'll win. They may win
Win
one.
1 game?
Yeah.
I remember we beat like the Wizards with Russell Westbrook. Remember they won 1 game? That's sort
Yeah.
of the way I feel like this year. Like if
Yeah.
we win 1 game, it would be an accomplishment.
Yeah, but you weren't fighting these guys. These guys are killers.
They'll knock you to tomorrow, Rock.
That's right.
And and
So yeah,
I'm
I'm
just
not super
wondering.
sixered up, but obviously you watch the game, you support your team, you cheer them on like you want them to do
But
well.
here's the question: how many empty seats will be at that arena tonight? I bet you there'll be a lot.
You're
I
probably
bet
right.
you.
That's really
And
sad.
it's interesting. There's a Phillies game tonight too.
No,
So they have
like
Phillies
that's any better to
Phillies
watch.
Phillies Cubs tonight and Sixers Magic tonight up at the Sports Center tonight.
Yeah,
So at the complex, shall I
at the
say?
complex. That's
So
right.
yeah,
I do expect though. Let me ask you two questions. I know you
yeah.
haven't been like really paying attention to the Flyers, but you have been paying attention to the Sixers. Let me just ask you, based on what you've heard, everything else, like your expectation for the Sixers versus the Flyers, and I also want so it's two parter. That's the first thing. What's your
It's two
expectation for
parter.
each? The second part of that question is which one are you more excited for?
Of course, the Flyers. Because
You
you want
are.
to know why? Yeah, because they haven't been there in a while, right?
Yeah.
And it's sort of the way it came about was unexpected. The Sixers are a disappointment, right? You
Yeah.
have Paul George, who was suspended for 3 months. You have Joel Embiid going over the millionth injury. You have two players there taking up $100 million, I think, in salary cap. I
Yep.
mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, I sort of want Joel Embiid to take an early retirement injury, but I think that the money still counts against the cap. I remember how excited I was about Dominic Barlow. I mean, at the bar's pretty low there, right? Dominic Barlow and
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 Tristan Weatherford, what's his name? Weatherford?
Watford or
Watford,
whatever.
thank you.
He's
Yes.
done. He was injured, but he
Yeah.
hadn't done much. Kelly Oubre's had sort of a good year. I
Yeah.
mean, JJ Edgecombe will probably finish third in the
VJ.
rookie. VJ will probably finish third in the rookie balloting behind Khan Kneppel. And
I don't think he's going to finish behind Khan, man.
Khan is like leading the league in 3-point percentage. I
Yeah, but
mean,
VJ does everything.
well, okay. And it's interesting. Khan supposedly was pulled in the fourth quarter last night against the Heat, like he was just out of his league. So we'll see how VJ does tonight, because we'll see if he comes. And he's been consistently good, VJ, the
Yes,
whole
he has.
season, the whole season. And you have a backcourt to work with. You just wish you didn't have two players taking up so much of your salary cap in Joel and Paul George. Although I'm going to say Paul George, when he has played quite well.
Well, PG said he's as fresh as a daisy out there now, like because he had, he had all those games out for what
Well,
was he taking?
he was taking something for mental health
Yeah,
reasoning.
probably
Um,
creatine or something. But anyway, so he was out for that, and so but he said he's fresh as a daisy now. So like you got a fresh Paul George, you got a rested Paul George. I mean, listen, I think playoff experience for VJ and for Maxi to get. I mean, Maxi's had playoff experience, but I think for VJ primarily is really good. They also the Flyers said goodbye to campaign, and I guess they
no, the Sixers campaign for a second time. And I
for a second.
actually saw on Facebook from the Sixers feed, thank you, campaign.
What the
Like
hell was that?
Cameron Payne, like you're sending a salute out to Cameron Payne and his because I think campaign wasn't he in the process? Wasn't he a process guy like 6 years ago for this team?
No, he played. No, he was post process. He played like about I think 2 or 3 years, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I think.
Because I
Um,
got excited about him like I got excited about Ish Smith.
that guy, Ish Smith, that guy. I'll tell
Ish
you
Smith's
what,
still in the league. I think Ish
campaign,
Smith is still in. Yeah.
campaign. Yeah, Ish Smith. Yeah, I know he continues to contribute. Let me tell you about campaign. That guy's jump shot reminds me so much. Do you remember Gerald Henderson, the way he used to shoot the ball back for those Sixers back in the day?
He would just, but it sort of goes to like the side, right? His
Yeah.
follow
Yep.
through goes to like this. It's the ugliest shot I've ever seen.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
know,
yeah,
I know. Matt Reagan's jumper's the cleaner and sweeter than that. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, so that's the Sixers. Interesting stuff going on. And then they will forfeit their first round. I know they got a draft pick in the McLean trade, and they get the Rockets pick, so that'll be I think 23. But they do
No, it is a
forfeit
good
their
draft this year, right? I mean, it's a good
yeah,
draft this year,
yeah.
hopefully.
But they did
So
forfeit
maybe
their own draft pick because that will now go to
go to the
OKC,
Thunder
who
and look
need
at the
draft
Thunder.
picks.
Look at the Thunder. And so they not only have our first round draft pick from this year, they have our own first round draft from 2 years ago in Jared McLean,
Yeah. But you know what's
who's
funny is I know everyone was like, and maybe Jared McCain's going to blow up in the playoffs. I think anything's possible. But everyone was like, so upset about this Jared McCain trade, and I was like, saying, hey, maybe I was
I
wrong
was
here.
one of them.
But right, but like check his numbers recently. He hasn't been so great and so effective. So I mean, who the heck knows what's going to happen? It is weird to give up on a young player. And again, my thing was more how is he fit on this team? Because if he
Right.
was 6'6", that's a different story. But we have two guys who are under 6'5". I just think to have a backcourt full of them makes it difficult. So anyway,
We need a shooting guard who's about 6'8".
yeah,
That would be what we want.
yeah,
And it's interesting because Paul George used to play shooting guard for the Clippers for a
yeah,
time,
that's right. That's right.
but now he moves to the 3 and the 4.
Yeah. Hey, is Kelly
Yeah,
Oubre back?
Kelly Oubre's back. So I mean, you're not missing that much. You're just missing Embiid is what you're missing.
Right. Which is hard, but who's the Celtics? Oh, they have
Drummond's gonna take.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, Drummond. I mean,
Drummond's gonna play, and Bono's gonna play.
yeah, yeah. Um, Not Bono. Bono from U2 is gonna play.
Bono from U2. What's his name?
It is Boner. Bono.
Boner.
No,
Bona. I mean,
Bono.
it's a
Bono.
Bono.
Not Boner.
Bona. Well, it's close. I was close. I didn't
You
say
were close.
boner. You
No,
said boner.
I did. I did. Well, speaking of boners, I'm gonna try this. It's an Aloha bar, and I would love for them to sponsor our
Is
podcast.
that going to is that going to give you a boner?
It could. I don't know. I'll let you know. But it's cookies and cream. It's a veggie.
Hmm.
It is a plant-based protein bar. So
Wow.
pretty good. 240
Was
calories
this
here.
also a Sprouts purchase?
Yes, 18 great, but you can buy it at your local. Well, it's Kroger for us. I don't know if it's like the Acme or the Gennardi there.
We did have the Gennardi conversation last week. So yeah,
So
yeah,
this
that
is a
was a
very
nice
exciting
get.
time because I have never had this bar and I'm going to eat it right here on air, and that's going to send the ratings through the freaking roof. So,
Do we have
uh,
time to do baseball at all?
of course we have time, man. What time are you
So
going to
guess
Tai
what today?
Chi?
6:15, 6:20, six
Wait,
twenty.
I just want to ask a
Guess
question before we get into baseball. You worked out
yeah.
and then you're going to Tai Chi too?
I need to relax. I need to relax. And I'm
Jesus,
gonna go
Lev,
watch
you're,
the Sixers game.
you're going to be a
It's good. It
man.
keeps
Like
me
you're going
busy.
to be a man amongst boys.
Is that like a white cream? Is that like a yogurty cream on that?
It's cookies and cream, dude. I don't know.
It looks good. It looks good. So it's Jackie Robinson Day today.
Oh
Everyone's
man.
wearing 42 today. I
Hmm.
love it. Jackie Robinson's widow, Rachel Robinson, is still alive. She's 103 years old, Rachel.
Is she
It's
really?
amazing. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. It's like a point of our history. I guess I was watching something on the computer, and of course they had that scene. You've seen 42, right? The movie 42,
Yeah, it's
where
tremendous.
Pee Wee Reese is doing the scene at Cincinnati with Jackie, which I don't know if that really ever happened, where he said, let my family see us together,
Uh
because
huh.
he had family from the West. But it was just a great movie, but even a greater experience. Jackie Robinson. I love how Major League Baseball has retired his number. I'd actually like to see Roberto Clemente's number be retired too. Those two people are just stick out to me unlike anyone else.
Hmm.
For African Americans, Jackie Robinson, and for Hispanics in baseball, Roberto Clemente did so much for them as well. So, but I think a great day. This was the day that baseball was racially integrated. So a great day, and I think it has a lot. That's one great thing about baseball is the history of baseball, which I
Yes.
just find really fascinating. I don't think any sport has the history like baseball. I know football has sort of definitely surpassed baseball, but not the history, not as exciting.
Right. There's something about the history of baseball that takes you back to a time where things felt a little bit more pure.
And
Yeah.
and we've been losing so many former greats. Like Phil Garner passed away yesterday. I don't know if you saw
I
that.
saw that old scrap iron.
Yeah, and Davy Lopes passed away like 2 weeks ago. Someone posted on Facebook. They're like, we're losing all the great second basemen. You know,
Hmm.
we're losing. Uh, Phil was a great man, pretty good manager,
Right.
and was the manager for the Astros in 2005. I think Phil was also on those Astros teams against the Phillies back in the 80s.
Yeah, I think he
So
was.
he was, and Davy Lopes, besides being a Dodger, was the first base coach for the Phillies on the 2008 team.
He sure was.
So there's a connection there. And I miss these guys because they're part of my childhood going away, and I didn't don't like that. So
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Put Manny Trio in bubble wrap. Len
yeah,
Hubbard
yeah,
too.
Manny Trio. I saw his number. I saw his plaque when I was at Citizens Bank Park 2 weeks ago in the Phillies Hall of Fame. I never
Hmm.
thought Manny Trio would get on, but he did. He did.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Phillies. Yeah,
the
first of all,
Phillies. The
Rich
Phillies.
sent some really cool stuff. A really cool story about Jimmy Rollins and
Yeah,
Davey Lopes.
yeah.
To send it to you. It's really cool. Um, Great read. Um, I agree. I mean, it is. It's sad to see like these guys, pass
And
and
Ryan Sandberg definitely over the summer hurt a lot. I
hmm
mean, I thought, yeah, another second baseman, Ryan Sandberg.
I know. I know.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, but the Phillies
yeah. The
have
Phillies.
been I mean, what's your take on the Phillies so far? Have you been to a game yet?
I did. I went, saw them play the Nationals,
Oh,
get
that's right.
shellacked by the Nationals,
Yeah.
and then they did win the next two. So I thought maybe they were in the right direction, and then they've been like losing 2 out of 3 in these series. Went out west, lost 2 out of 3 to the Giants.
Hmm.
They beat. I guess they won 2 out of 3 against the Rockies, and then who they lost again a series. I mean, and then they came back home this week, and I guess they lost 2 out of 3 against the Diamondbacks and
Yeah.
the
They
Cubs.
look like they're going to lose the series to the Cubs too.
Well, they have a night game tonight, right? So it's a
Yes.
6:40 game tonight.
Hmm.
So hopefully maybe they'll pull it out. And the pitching's been not so good.
Not good. Not good.
Not good.
And if you're thinking about Zach Wheeler down on the farm, he threw, I think, last night. We're recording this on Wednesday. And he threw a double A and was hit around a bit. So, I don't know what his velocity is and what he can get back to after that thoracic uh, arm,
Surgery.
whatever, with the
Yeah.
thoracic surgery, whatever it is. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, Christopher Sanchez hasn't been uh, as exquisite as he was last year. He was
No, he
phenomenal last
hasn't.
year. It's still very early though. Like it's
It's still
still,
very early. The Mets suck. So,
yeah.
how are the Braves doing right now, record wise? How are the Braves doing?
The Braves are doing okay. They're okay. They're
Yeah.
they're they're somewhere. They're besieged with injuries. So
So
to their pitching staff. So the verdict on
maybe
the Aloha
90.
bar, by the way, the cookies and cream, not as good as the chocolate mint, and certainly not as good
Yeah.
as the peanut butter cup. In case you're wondering.
Well, I would think the chocolate mint might be reminiscent of the Girl Scout cookies. The thin,
Yeah,
the thin mint cookies.
yeah.
Ooh,
This one
those
leaves
are
a
good.
bad aftertaste. I don't like it.
A lot of these bars do that though. They
Yeah,
leave with the aftertaste. Yeah.
that's right. That's right, Lev. I'll tell you what though. There's a couple other things that I just want to touch on real quick. Eagles draft. Did you know we're a week out tomorrow from the draft?
And I heard Howie being questioned about AJ Brown again, and he's just like, I don't know. He's like, any offers. So it seems like AJ Brown's going to be with the Eagles for right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. That's going to be interesting. I mean, he's not going to be traded. If he's traded, it won't be until after the new league year in January. I mean, June 1. They did
And
trade for Dontavian Wicks.
right, I've been. This is 3 receivers they brought in, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Marquise
So
Brown and then Elijah Moore and Yeah.
Is that Hollywood? Hollywood?
Hollywood Brown. Yeah.
Hollywood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And,
then
and,
Dontavian
and
Wicks and
but none of these guys do it for you, right?
I mean, I think Marquise Brown is a good third receiver, but he's not a number two.
Yeah.
You
So
know, I think what's that?
Maybe AJ is back next year.
I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't bring AJ back for one more run at it. I kind of feel like, look, like Lane has expressed that this could be his last year.
Right.
Uh, 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 why am I totally blanking on his name? The Dickerson
No, you're talking Landon Dickerson might be it.
might be it. Yeah,
Lin-
I mean, he's another
yeah,
guy.
he's got injury issues that might force an early retirement.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so
It- it-
you
with-
got
with-
guys that
yeah.
are banged up, and maybe towards the end, like Brandon Graham. I think they're going to end up bringing him back for a year. Pro,
This is age 37, right, on Brandon Graham?
I think so. Yeah. And what did they sign? Did they sign Dallas Goddard to 1 year or 2 years? Do you
I
remember?
think it was a 1 year, but
Right. So it sort of feels to me like this is going to be it for this group, and so I just don't know why you wouldn't. The window is right now for the Birds. I mean, they have a very young team, but I just wouldn't trade a guy like AJ Brown right now. I think he brings your
not
team,
unless you get a one. I mean,
and you
I was
won't.
listening
Yeah.
to the radio and they're like, well, maybe a couple twos. I'm like, no, we
Yeah.
gave up a one for this guy. And this guy is probably still one of the best receivers in football.
Yeah. Lev, couple things real quick. It's so weird because NFL draft, I haven't heard less hype, and I think it's because the excitement around the Flyers and just there's so much going on right now, but I have not heard much hype at all around the NFL draft. But next week, I will come to you with my batch of 5 or 6 players, tested and true.
These would be a lot of SEC guys or what?
Well,
Or just
right
in
now,
general?
if you had asked me right now, I feel like Caden Proctor is going to be their guy. He's an offensive lineman who can start.
Well,
at
they
guard.
need to go offensive line. They have not drafted an offensive lineman, if I'm correct, since 2022 in the first round. It might have been, would it have been, it would have been in center. That was the last time they drafted someone.
It
Our
was,
center. Yeah, Wisconsin guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I know who you're
So
talking about. Yeah, the center, but they've drafted offensive linemen, just not early. is what
No,
I'm
but
saying.
not first round. So the
Right.
question is, the old Andy Reid was you always go offensive, defensive lineman. So
Right.
they haven't done that in a while. So maybe they've obviously gone defensive lineman with Carter and Davis, but maybe they need to address the offensive line first.
Right.
And I don't know if this is a good year for that. You can always get a receiver in the second round if you need to go that route.
Right. And then real quick, did you watch any of the Masters?
I did not.
I watched it.
I'm not a golf guy.
I'm not either, but it was really
But
relaxing.
Rory won. Rory
Yeah,
won.
we're
I
back
know
to back.
that.
Lev, it's Wrestlemania weekend.
Woo! Do you have our friend on or no?
Our friend,
Is
we're
he
out
on?
of time, buddy.
No. Where's our wrestling guy? You know our
The con
wrestling
man?
guy. You know our connection. Yeah.
The con
We
man?
need
Where
our-
is he?
We need our connection.
About do. Lev, we're out of time, baby. Lot going on.
Have a good one.
Get flyed up. Get
And-
Tai Chi on. Woo! We'll see you next week unless we don't, baby.